The measure of a person's stature is determined by their innermost thoughts. Throughout history, this profound truth has been consistently validated by the journeys of accomplished individuals. Visionaries like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos stand as shining examples. Napoleon Hill, in his groundbreaking work, Think and Grow Rich, asserted that your dominant thoughts. So, why do so many individuals find themselves struggling to achieve success? Is it a lack of foresight regarding their future? Do they simply overlook the vast potential residing within themselves? This narrative will delve into these questions, offering profound insights and a powerful lesson. Additionally, we'll enrich our vocabulary with new English terms along the way. Stay tuned until the very end. This video promises to be incredibly rewarding. Sound effect. Once upon a time, amidst the hustle and bustle of a busy railway station, there lived a humble beggar. Day after day, he subsisted by soliciting alms from passengers awaiting their trains. One day, while engaged in his usual plea, he observed a distinguished businessman stepping onto the platform. Noticing his exquisite suit and confident demeanor, the beggar mused, "This man must be extraordinarily wealthy." Emboldened by this thought, the beggar approached the businessman, extending his hand. However, instead of offering money, the businessman met his gaze and inquired, "Do you perpetually only take from others? Have you ever extended an offering to anyone?" The beggar was taken aback. Such a question was unprecedented in his experience. Perplexed, he responded, "Sir, I am merely a beggar. My existence relies on receiving alms. I possess nothing to bestow upon another." The businessman offered a faint smile and declared, "If you genuinely believe you have nothing to offer, then you forfeit the right to request anything. I am a man of commerce. I believe in the principle of exchange. If you can present me with something, I, in turn, can offer you something. But if you have nothing to give, neither can I." With these words, the businessman boarded his train and departed. The beggar stood there, utterly bewildered. The businessman's words echoed repeatedly in his mind. "I have been begging for an eternity, yet no one has ever uttered such words to me before." He wasn't discourteous, yet he spoke an undeniable truth. If I can't provide anything in return, then why should people grant me anything? For the first time, the beggar grasped why he seldom received substantial donations, because he offered nothing in reciprocity. That night, he lay awake, consumed by profound introspection. But what could I possibly offer? I am merely a beggar. I possess nothing. Yet, the businessman's words persistently reverberated in his consciousness. If you aspire to receive, you must first learn to give. 2 days elapsed. The beggar refrained from seeking money, lost in deep contemplation. On the third day, while seated at the station, his gaze fell upon a vibrant patch of wildflowers, blooming near the tracks. Their brilliant hues captivated his attention, and suddenly a transformative idea sparked within him. What if, instead of merely taking, I presented something in return? What if I offered a flower to each person who gave me alms? Filled with resolve, he walked over, carefully gathered a handful of blossoms, and returned to his customary spot. When someone extended a coin, he smiled genuinely and offered a flower in exchange. To his astonishment, people graciously accepted the flowers, some even smiling and expressing gratitude. As the days progressed, something extraordinary began to unfold. More and more people started offering him money. He observed a distinct pattern. As long as he possessed flowers, people gave generously. When his supply diminished, so did the donations. So it is indeed true, he pondered. People appreciate receiving something in return. One particular day, as he was distributing flowers in exchange for alms, he once again caught sight of the businessman seated within the train. Excitedly, he hurried over and declared, "Sir, today I have an offering for you. If you bestow money upon me, I shall reciprocate with these flowers." The businessman smiled, handed him some cash, and accepted a few blossoms. You have truly grasped the essence of exchange, the businessman commended. Today, you are no longer merely a beggar. You have transformed into a businessman. The train reached the next station and the businessman alighted. The beggar stood there, watching him depart. The businessman's words ignited a fresh line of inquiry in his mind. Am I truly a businessman now? For a considerable time, he pondered this question. Then, with sudden clarity, he realized something profound. I now comprehend the secret to success. I am not simply a beggar. I am a merchant. People are not offering me money out of sympathy. They are compensating me for the flowers I provide. This unequivocally means I operate a business. Filled with excitement, he made a daring decision. That very day, he left the railway station, never to return as a beggar. 6 months later, at that very same railway station, two impeccably dressed gentlemen met. They exchanged a cordial handshake, but one of them bore a look of curiosity. "Do I know you?" one man inquired. The other smiled and replied, "Indeed, we have met twice before, right here on this very train." The first man furrowed his brow, striving to recall. Then his eyes widened in sudden recognition. "Wait, you are the beggar, the one I initially declined to give money to, and then later, from whom I purchased flowers." The former beggar chuckled. "Yes, that was I. But today, I am no longer a beggar. I operate a thriving flower business, and I am currently traveling to expand it further." The businessman was utterly astonished. "That is absolutely incredible. What precipitated this transformation?" The flower seller beamed. "You imparted to me one of life's most profound truths. We only truly receive when we genuinely give. That day, I came to the realization that I was never genuinely a beggar. I was a businessman all along. I simply needed to perceive myself in that light." The two men shook hands once more, now as equals. Then they boarded their respective trains, each embarking towards their individual futures. Life is profoundly shaped by how we envision ourselves. If you internalize the belief that you are insignificant, you will undeniably remain so. But if you acknowledge your inherent potential, you possess the capacity to achieve genuine greatness. Therefore, never impose limitations upon yourself. Cultivate a self-image of strength, capability, and undeniable success, because when your thoughts undergo a metamorphosis, your future inevitably follows suit. If this story resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up, share your insights in the comments below, and disseminate it to inspire others. We'll meet again in the next captivating story.